Recently, a lot of changes have been made in the belt department when it comes to WWE. We not only have new look tag titles, we also have the introduction of the WWE Speed Championship. Now, although on X they have not released the finals of the matches, fans have leaked what the WWE Speed Championship is going to look like. So we're going to go based off of that picture to today rank how all of the WWE Championship belts look. Also included on this list as a new addition, the NXT Women's North American Championship. And although it's not yet official, they did give us a rendering at NXT Stand and Deliver, so we have a decent idea of what it's going to look like. Thank you for letting me finish my sentence before you jumped up here. So I'm going to give my cat some baby time, and then we're going to get right into the list. All right, so these are in no particular order. I think they just put them in there randomly when I uploaded them. So we're just going to start with the first one, and that's the Intercontinental Championship. Personally, I think this version of the Intercontinental Championship is terrible. Now, I don't think it's so bad that it should just not be on TV, but I do think that most versions of the Intercontinental Championship up until this point are better. Particularly the original one and the one with the white strap. The white strap Intercontinental Championship belt is probably my favorite belt of all time. And as much as I think it's a stupid idea to spend an obscene amount of money on a replica belt, I have genuinely thought about it for the white IC title. My problem with the IC title though is that it doesn't look good, just in my opinion. There's really nothing more I can say. I don't really have a thought of oh, it should look like this, or I would do this to change it. What's the change I would make? I would bring back the old one. That's really it. So with that, we're going to put the Intercontinental Championship in the D tier. Next, we got the NXT Championship. I think the NXT Championship looks fine as it is. I do like the kind of I don't know the word for it, but it's it's almost like a rainbow reflection kind of in the back. I really don't know what the word for that is. But I do like how that looks on the NXT title. My biggest complaint with the old NXT title was that it just kind of looked small. The people you were putting it on, it looked like a kid's belt by comparison. But now I think it's got some good size to it, and I really think that they're doing a good job with it. So for that reason, I don't really hate it. I don't really love it to the point where I would want to put it in the A or the S tier, but I do think that's a good championship belt. So I'm going to put the NXT title in the B tier. Up next is the NXT Heritage Cup, and I really don't understand what it is, to be honest. I didn't watch NXT UK really, so I don't really understand why it's a cup and not a belt, or why no quarter catch crew can defend it as all of them. But it's pretty cool. It's a pretty different idea. I'm not in love with it. I think, for the talking only on the design of it, it looks fine for a cup. I think if you're going to do a cup, that's probably how it should look. It looks good. So for that reason, I guess I'm going to put it in the B tier, but I don't really get the Heritage Cup. So up next, we have the NXT North American Championship. Great belt. Very nice. Love the design. Love the burgundy strap. Big fan because it's different. I really love a red strap belt or a white strap belt. Those are always good, and for that reason, I'm going to put the NXT North American Championship in the A tier. Now, the NXT Tag Team titles, I think, are pretty basic, but they're very effective. You don't really need much more than just NXT on these belts, in my opinion. In the case of the North American Championship, they did something different. It went above and beyond, but, just to get the bare bones of what you need, I think the NXT Championship looks fine. I'm going to go ahead and throw that in the B tier, but behind the main NXT Championship. The Women's NXT Championship is about the same as the Men's NXT Championship. The only difference is the strap is white, and for that reason, I'm going to put it in A tier. Just something about a white strap really it makes most belts better, in my opinion. Up next, we got the NXT Women's North American Championship, and if this is what it looks like, I'm going to go ahead and put that straight into S, because you got the burgundy to keep that going. You got the white strap because for some reason all the women's belts have to have white straps and none of the men's belts can, whatever. But I'm really digging it. It has the potential to be the best looking belt in all of WWE. If you made it this far, comment below and tell me who you think the inaugural NXT Women's North American Champion is going to be. Then we got the US Championship. I'm not going to lie to you, I don't like the new US Championship. I think the one that they had for all those years was the perfect belt. It was the perfect design for the United States Championship. And then they went and they modernized it and they updated it. And same as the Intercontinental Championship, what would I change about it? I would bring the old thing back. So for that reason, the U.S. Championship is going in the D tier. The World Heavyweight Championship, currently held by Damian Priest, I think it looks fine. In a way, is paying homage to the big gold belt, but to me, nothing will ever top the big gold belt. So I would probably give this an A, but because it's not the big gold belt, I'm automatically going to take a point off and give it a B. I'm still going to put it above the things that are in B right now, but here's the thing, man. Nothing will ever top the big gold belt. Your championships should look big enough to where even your biggest, like physically biggest superstars can hold it, and it doesn't look like a toy. And the World Heavyweight Championship, the original one, the big gold belt, you could put that on anybody and it would look good. Even when it was the biggest goldest belt you could possibly find, and they put it on Rey Mysterio, even when it barely fit around him because he was so much smaller than the belt, still, like, give me that big gold belt over anything. Up next, we got the World Tag Team Championships. You know what? I really like these. After seeing the WWE Tag Team Championships, I think that they probably could have done a little bit better in what they did with the World Tag Team Championships. But, I don't hate them. And I really hated the old Tag Team Championships with, like, the Trojan faces, like, against each other. Just because, like, again, they look like toy belts, and the silver on red and the silver on blue, like, that just doesn't. Like, titles need to be gold, man. For the most part, at least. Like, titles need to be gold, especially if you're going to do the colored band. They need to be gold. And even before that, when they had the black band with the bronze looking Trojan title, like, I still thought they were bad then. So, like, these, they're not as big as I would want them to be in terms of, like, size, but I do think they look good. And for that, I'm going to put them also in the B, and I'm going to put them behind the NXT Championship, but ahead of the NXT Tag Team Championships. We got the undisputed Universal WWE Championship, currently held by Cody Rhodes. It could be worse. I'm not going to sit here and act like it's my favorite championship that I've ever seen in my life. I think of all the WWE championships, the Winged Eagle is probably the best. It's not bad. It's not offensive. It's the basis for what a bunch of other belts look like. The evolution from the WWE championship that first looked like this from The Rock all the way up through the Universal era to now. They've done a good job of combining all those elements and giving us something that looks pretty good. So for that, I'm going to put this one in the bottom of the A tier behind the two NXT belts. Now, the new WWE Tag Team Champions, S tier. S tier immediately, ahead of the NXT Women's North American Championship. Actually, no, I'm probably going to put it behind that. But maybe they can be tied. I don't know. But beautiful. Paying homage to the original World Tag Team Championships, the WWE Tag Team Championships of the Ruthless Aggression era on SmackDown. It's wonderful. It's amazing. I love it. I'm so happy about it, and I cannot wait to get good tag team feuds over these nice, pristine belts. So then we got the women's tag team titles, which I'm honestly not that big of a fan of. I don't know what it is about them. I think it's got too much, like, silver around it to, like, really balance and, like, stand apart from the white background. But they're not the worst. I think if I was going to redesign them, I think I want them to look more like the men's belts a little bit, but still keeping the white strap and keeping, like, enough accenting to where it makes it, like, not blend into the belt, if that makes sense. In other words, most of the other women's belts look like an original thing that, WWE has come up with, whereas the women's tag team championships look like they took a TNA belt, changed a couple things, and handed it to their women's division. So for that reason, I'm putting the women's tag team championships in the C tier. So then we got the WWE Women's Championship. Surprisingly enough, that's the only one that I don't think looks better with the white strap. I think the WWE Championship works so well because of the black accent around everything, and when you take that and just copy and paste it onto a white belt, it's just not the same. That's not to say that it looks bad, because I do think that it looks good, but just not as good as the WWE Championship. So for that reason, I'm going to put this one in the B tier, just a step under the World Heavyweight Championship. And then you have the Women's World Championship, which I do think looks better than the World Heavyweight Championship, and part of that is because Rhea has done such a good job of, like, boosting it up and carrying it and making it this thing to be sought after. But the other part of it is just because the white strap works here. There's not a whole bunch of silver. To me, having the silver instead of the gold on the white belt kind of takes away from having the white belt in the first place. So this one's going to go in the A tier. and I'm going to put it just ahead of the NXT Women's Championship. And last, and certainly probably least, the WWE Speed Belt. As you can see, Ricochet, the first WWE Speed Champion. It's going to take me a minute to form an opinion on this, honestly. I think they would have been better off just bringing back the 24/7 title. Because, like, just looking at some of these pictures, I mean, yeah, it looks like something that would come in like a Happy Meal, to be honest. Like, no hate to Ricochet, but it's just like they're gonna have to make that belt mean something for any of us to take it seriously. It looks like a created belt on 2K or on like the old SmackDown versus Raw games. This is gonna take a long time to get used to, but I don't, the letters are too big. They could have probably come up with like a symbol for speed or something else, or like even just the outline of the logo but without the words. I don't know. They could have done a lot better with this. So for that reason, I'm putting it dead last behind. Actually, I'm going to put the US Championship ahead of the Intercontinental Championship, but I'm putting the Speed Championship last. So that is everything for all the belts that are currently on the active roster in WWE. As you can see, the best, the NXT Women's North American Championship. That hasn't even really happened yet, but if it's anything like what we think it's going to look like, it's going to be amazing. And the worst is the brand new WWE Speed Championship. If you enjoyed this video, got 2 more videos right here you can check out. And also don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to Lunch Break Wrestling for more wrestling content. Have a nice one. We'll see you in the next one.